Akshita Shetty. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another video. So in today's video, we're going to be seeing how to prepare your self-made notes. Okay, so you can follow this strategy for either theory subjects or practical subjects. Okay, it works for both. Now, many people preach that you have to prepare your self-made notes, you have to study from your own notes, but they don't practically tell you how to do it, right? Okay, just like a self-critic, as I said before, I presume myself to be a little experienced in preparing the self-made notes. So I thought, why not make a video if it could help you all? Okay, without wasting time, let's get started. So guys, just like a mutual fund disclaimer, I have a disclaimer here too, okay? So you need a lot of patience to prepare notes in the method which I will be explaining in the next minute, right? But if you follow this, you will succeed incredibly. Things you need. Number one is plain notebook. I prefer unruled notebook because it will be very easy to draw flowcharts or diagrams, okay? Preferably keep a 200-page notebook. Number two is 3 different color pens. One is blue, one is black, and one is red. Number 3 is a pencil. Number 4 is a highlighter of your choice. Number 5 is sticky notes and post-its. And number 6 is a pinch of interest and focus. Alright, step number 1 is thorough reading of the entire chapter from the module. So in this step, you should basically study the entire chapter from the module, okay, without leaving even a single line. So this is basically to familiarize the concepts and get acquainted with the keywords that are mentioned in the chapter. Now, you have to highlight the main parts of the chapters such as definition, examples, merits, demerits, case laws, and so on. So this is my ethics study materials. So chapter number 1 is Introduction, Ethics and Governance. We're gonna open the first page and start reading the entire chapter line by line, okay? And remember one thing, not everything that is given in the module is important, right? Maybe you can expect only 3 or max to max 4 questions from one chapter, okay? May it be any subject. So you should know what are the most important parts of a chapter. So as I said, it may be definition. Now, when you come to the ethics definition, there are so many definitions, right? So can you write everything? Or is it possible to remember everything? No, right? So what you can do, you can actually mark any one of the definitions that carries more sense, okay? So in my case, I felt this and this paragraph is enough for the definition. So I will just tick mark this and I will carry the same extracts by making it short to my notes. Okay, so this is how you study. You have to basically, so these are the features, you have to mark the important parts of a chapter. Okay, you can use the highlighters and you can do this. Step number 2 is scan the scanner. Yes, so you should basically scan the scanner, guide, or whatever you call it as. Open your guide and go through the questions that are asked in the previous year question papers so that you get to know the type of questions that are asked in the exam and which concepts require more focus from you. I'm sure at least 25% of those questions would be repeated, guys. If not 25, at least 10% of questions would be repeated in these professional exams, okay? So do not forget to thoroughly scan the entire scanner because it really boosts your confidence to a very high level. Step number 3 is filter karo filter. Yes. Now that you've done both step 1 and step 2, we can barely assume that we know at least something in the chapter. Now, pay attention to what I'm saying. You should basically filter out the most important topics, keeping in mind the questions that are asked in the previous year question papers and those that are mentioned in the scanners. Okay, so you should basically follow these steps sequentially. Only then you will be able to get track of this.
Now, you will have to filter out the most important topics, keeping in mind the past question papers and the exam patterns. Okay? So guys, please bear in mind that this is only from the exam point of view because in first reading, you would have almost covered the entire chapter. Right? So we're not going to repeat that process again. We're going to just filter out the most important topics. Say for example, I'll tell you. Now, in the first page, we have governance through inner conscience. So this is basically like a history or like the background of this topic or subject. Is it really important from the exam point of view? No, not really. So what are we gonna do? We're gonna just ignore and we're gonna go to the next paragraph. So this is ethics. So from here to here, it covers only the definitions. So you need not study all the paragraphs. It's only that you have to pick up the most important parts of this paragraph. That is only the definitions. We are concerned only about that. We don't need all this. In bygone times, kings used to keep food testers. No. Can we study everything? No, we're not robots. Right? After that, we have features of ethics. Now, this is important. We're gonna transfer it to our notes. Next is the concept of business ethics. Again, this is totally a history about ethics. We're gonna ignore that, and next we come to the importance of business ethics. Now, this is quite important, so we're gonna mark, and this will go straight to our notes. Next, coming to corporate governance ethics. Yes, this is quite important. So, what are we gonna do? We're gonna prepare a short notes on this. We can write SN. We're gonna prepare short notes on this straight in the notes. Now again, theories of ethics. So we're gonna make it short. Hence, everything is important. We will make it short and put it in the notes. Okay, so this is how we filter out what is important and what is not. So coming to the last part of the chapter, that is the conclusion. Is conclusion important? Not really. Who is gonna ask you that? Okay. Again, we're gonna ignore it and leave it here itself. Okay, so this is basically just from the exam point of view. Okay. So this actually means that you have to pick up only the most essential parts or topics of the chapter and ignore the rest, like the stories or the introduction, the background, history, the king, queen, etc, etc.
Alright guys, so this is my notes and this is how I prepare the self-made notes. So I'm going to show you. So this is book number 3, just because there are so many subjects and I get confused. I named these books as number 1, number 2, number 3, and after that is my own sweet index. Yes, so I'm going to write, okay, this company secretary I had not yet become, but now that I've become, I'm happy. Yee. Okay, so this is actually a content sheet, right? This basically contains the names of the chapters, what all I have written in the notes. This is just for reference, guys. If I have this, I need not go through the entire book. I know what chapters I have written in this notes. No big French or Latin to learn in this. So let's move forward. And here is the notes. Okay, what are we going to do? In the first step, we're going to write the chapter number 1 and we're going to write it. And the most important step is we're gonna write the notes in the form of question and answers, because this is the most simplest way to learn any answer, right? But we're not gonna compromise with the concepts. We're gonna understand everything with clarity, but to make sure that we don't skip any of the topics, we're gonna write it only in the form of question and answers. And also, we're going to make sub-questions. I'm going to teach you that as well. This way, it will be very convenient to cover all the topics of the chapter. Okay? And also, it look more systematic, easy to study, and also revise at the end moment. Right? So, example, I'm going to take my textbook here so that I can show you how I have extracted. Okay, see, for example, as I said, definition of ethics. See, I have not copied everything from the textbook. I have only picked up a few definitions along with a significant point and entered in my notes. So, when the examiner asks about what is ethics, I will write only these 4 points. That's it, I'm done. And I have included all the major keywords that are in the textbook. So, there are no chances of the examiner reducing the marks for me. This way, you will be able to remember it amazingly, guys. Just try this out and don't follow these paragraphs, because your mind cannot take so much. It cannot accumulate that much. When you write it in the form of points, you will know. For example, 1, 2, 3. When the examiner asks about virtue theory, I will exactly know how many points were there because I've studied 2 to 3 times, right? So always follow these sub-points. Question number 6, theories of ethics. Under that, make it as sub-questions. Ethical theory, deontological theory, teleological theory, utilitarian approach. So basically, you have to subdivide the questions as I said earlier. And trust me, guys, every chapter will not run more than 25 to 30 pages in your notes, how much ever big the chapter is. Okay, so this is a very simplest and easiest way to make notes. Again, I repeat, don't make a carbon copy of your textbook. only pick up the most important lines and shorten it as much as possible. Okay, and also avoid repetition. You're preparing notes, you're investing so much of time just to make it very simpler and short, so there's no point again and again repeating the entire things. Okay, so I hope you all got a basic idea of how to do. Not to forget, you are supposed to stick the sticky notes like this. So basically the chapter 1 is ethics. I'm sorry, it's spoiled a little, and this is chapter number 16, that is legal framework, convention and treaties. So this is how you should stick the sticky notes, so that you will actually save time in going to that specific chapters. I need not just waste time in searching for the pages, and actually our index will also help us to quite an extent. Okay, so the last step, that is step number 5, is how to read from your own notes. It is very simple. You're going to complete 3 readings from your notes and you will be well prepared for the exam. Let me tell you how. Okay, so now, okay, let me go to some other question, because you people might be bored looking at the same questions. Okay, so this question says, what is the role of business in sustainable development? What have I done? In every point, I have actually highlighted and bookmarked a single keyword, right? So why have I done that? So this you're going to do it in the first reading. Why? Because looking at this keyword, you should be able to form the rest of the sentence. Okay, so this tip was actually taught to me by my one of the faculty who handled securities market subject for me. So this actually worked great since my executive time. Okay, so you're gonna pick up one such keyword from every point and you're gonna bookmark like this in a pencil. Okay, now when you're reading it for the second time, you're not going to look at the other lines. You're going to look at just that keyword. From that keyword, you should be able to make the other sentence. I mean the rest of the sentence. Okay, so this is how you study. You should pick up again. So that is why I said you need a lot of patience to prepare these notes. So again and again when you study, this will actually get registered in your head and you will not forget it for your life. Trust me. In fact, if the examiner asks you what is the role of business in sustainable development, you will in fact be able to tell on which page that question is. Is it on the right page of the book or left side of the book? Okay, so that much involved you should be in preparing the notes, and this will work out great, believe me. So in short, I'm going to repeat this last step. Please listen to me carefully. Okay, this is really important. So what should you do? You should take a pencil and mark only one important keyword in every point. So by looking at that, you should be able to draft the rest of the sentence. Alright guys, so we've come to the end of the video. I hope this video was extremely useful to you all. If you have any questions regarding note making, then please do post your questions in the comment section below. And also do not forget to like, share and subscribe to my channel. And I would be happy to help if you have any questions. Till next video, happy note making. Good luck for your exams. Bye bye guys. Take care.